Right, you guys ready?
ComX presents.
Alex, not yet. Lauren, what are you doing?
Making everything look sexy and chilling.
By the way, I don't want to eat anyone's thumbnails.
Thanks, Nick May, for that's super helpful. Can we just get the show going?
ComX. Is it ComX Net AU? Or,
Are you ready for drinking? Drawing? What about laughing? Well, hold on to your crumpets. It's season 2 of the ComX Friday Night Drink and Draw, with your hosts Sizzle and Spedsy, and the man they call Quick, plus Australia's most attractive artists and creators, many of whom have books for sale at comx.shop. Alright Dave, you can start drawing.
Yeah, if you can make sense of it, good luck. Welcome to another Friday Night Drink and Draw, everyone. Hello, and we have a special show on tonight with the theme Thor, going with a bit of relevance there with the latest movie. And we have a special guest host tonight, Peter Wilson.
Woo. Hey there.
And our spotlight guest, of course, Paul C. And because he hasn't put his name up there, I can't try to pronounce it. It's not written there.
You won't butcher it.
No, I won't butcher it. Well, there was that as well, so that's good. So yeah, tonight we got Nick Quick, of course, every night. We got Dushan Silver, I believe it is. Name's on the screen, so I've lost it. We got Alistair Lockhart, DK, Camilla Duran, Chris Wood, and Crispy Chris Pitcan.
Good crew.
Oh dear. I'm not saying anything.
What?
What are you eating for dinner tonight, Peter Wilson?
At the moment, I'm not eating anything, so you'll just have to wait until it comes out. Until then, it's a secret.
No, I was talking about Peter.
Oh.
Somebody's eating toast.
Normally, that question's directed at me.
I'm having a chip sandwich because I'm a
Oh,
gourmet.
nice.
Yeah,
How are we all doing tonight?
we're good.
Every bit as good as I look.
Okay. Confident. I like that.
Not necessarily.
Good point. Could have been a cry for help, but let's keep it.
I look like a poorly made Obi-Wan Kenobi figure. Most days. Like, who? I got to ask right off the bat, if you watched Kenobi, hands up those who thought it was good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
I like
Drop
No.
right in it.
Really? Well,
Doesn't
yeah,
take
no,
much
I
to
am.
do
I
Yeah.
like the Darth Vader stuff. That's
It really made me angry.
Oh,
It really made me angry. In order to enjoy the original trilogy, I have to pretend that all this new stuff doesn't exist because they keep buggering up the story. There's a specific line in Star Wars where he says, "We meet again at last." You know, except for those other 2 times when we met again. You'll remember. Or the bit where she goes, "Years ago, you fought with my father in the Clone Wars, General Kenobi. Oh, yes, and there was that time when I was 10 years old when you saved me several times. And we became so bonded that I asked you if you were my father." But never mind about that.
no.
I hate it so much. I hate it. I'm not going to watch anymore. I refuse. I don't care what Star Wars does from this point on. I'm out. I am out. It is dead to me.
I suspect I'm quite simple-minded because I watch these new Star Wars and these Marvels, and for the first probably 2 days, I'm fully swept up in the hype. I'm all about it. I love and then objectivity sets in slowly but surely, and I can sort of critique it. But for Obi-Wan, I kind of just like that started to seep in. I just didn't let it. Just let me have it. Let me have that childlike enjoyment. I get so little of these things.
That's really what you want. Is it the reason I enjoyed The Force Awakens the first time I saw it is because it made me feel like a kid again.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Which is really what you're looking for when you go to see a Star Wars thing. But it doesn't do that anymore. It just I can't. I don't want to.
Look, it's like McDonald's, you know, like you eat it, it tastes good at the time, and then you feel the McBrick, you know.
Solid metaphor.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's Disney. I mean, they're telling this.
So shall we do
So-
a quick roundtable of how we've all been, or what we think of Thor? First impressions of Thor.
Sure.
Cool. Well, I'll start if you want.
Sick.
I've seen the new movie, so I won't give any spoilers, of course, and hopefully no one else gives any spoilers. But I walked in expecting corny silliness because I knew that's what the director was all about, and I was not disappointed. If you went in there looking for a serious movie, then you're really looking in the wrong place. Yeah, so I had a lot of fun laughing at the silliness. But yeah, I haven't been doing comments.
Sloppy Tunes, we got Alex, Peter Lane, all those good
Hey,
guys.
Rusty.
Kerry,
Hey,
hey Kerry, pleasure to be here. My first exposure to Thor, I haven't read much Marvel, but I once had an omnibus of the first ever few Avengers comics in the 50s or whenever. And that was kind of my first exposure to Thor, and then the movies, obviously. I will say I appreciate that the movies really embrace all the craziness that is Thor. It'd be very easy to downplay that. But I think it's cool that they've run with it. Especially the last couple of films from what I've heard.
It's I find it very odd. These were the B properties when I was a kid.
You're right.
Nobody gave a short dry shit about Thor. In the comics, it was really one of those side things that you're aware of the character, but you've never actually read it. He's occasionally appears in the frame if you buy an Avengers comic, and I was never really into superhero comics either. I was a weirdo. I liked horror comics. All those EC comics have been somehow managed to stay in circulation and didn't get burned by the moral majority in the 50s. Superheroes I could take or leave. I like the Hulk, but only the TV series, really. Oh, yeah, there you go. That's it, exactly. So, yeah, now they're the most valuable brands on the planet. It's really weird.
Yeah.
The kind of turnaround that's happened.
I think. Oh, who's going next?
Sorry, I thought we were going around, but that's all right. You jump in.
No.
Not so quick, Nick.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it. Part of me was like, is it a bit too silly? Are we having a bit too much fun? But it didn't bother me too much. But it did cross my mind a few times. Like,
I can't have that.
Goats made me go, okay, stretch. Well, I'll go with it. But I enjoyed it a lot. And I thought it wrapped up really well and felt real by the end again. So, Paul, tell me about it.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I have not seen the new one. So look. You know what? if someone spoils it tonight, I'm good. I think after Infinity War, it was like I'll watch them because I want to see what happens to these characters. But honestly, I think it was like really peaked. There's been a couple of standouts since, but. Yeah, so look, I want to go in. I want to enjoy it. I like Taika stuff. But let's say my first introduction. Yeah, I inherited an uncle's Marvel collection from like the 60s. And there was all the old Jack Kirby stuff. There was a bunch of Thor comics. He collected all the Thors. I had a couple of the omnibuses one. I know exactly what you're talking about. And I thought it was an interesting take, the movie, because I was like, oh, how are they going to do this? Donald Drake. It was Donald
Blake.
Right. Yeah.
Donnie Blake.
Yeah. So wow, no alliteration. Wow. I thought Marvel's all
weird,
about,
isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, that they actually went with Thor as Thor. I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. So I enjoyed it, and like leading up to the Avengers movies and then Infinity War, I really liked his arc and where they took him. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the new one just to see where it goes from there. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Hey, before we move on, Paul, you're looking really red tonight. I know. I don't know. I thought I had to draw it, so there you go.
I've been trying to get the camera to not be. It's just doesn't help. I'm
like
drinking non-alcoholic wine, so obviously it's giving me the flush. So.
All right, who's telling us about Thor
Yeah,
next?
I've seen it. Yeah, I liked it. It's pretty good, and it's very emotional in the end. Yeah, it was. I enjoyed the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Did you watch Ragnarok as well?
Yeah, that
Found it
had
very
the
similar
Hulk
humor?
and all that, so that was pretty good. The Ragnarok,
cool.
and this didn't have any other Marvel characters, but was solid story, and I didn't like the design of the villain Gore, because I don't know if you have read the comic for
Voldemort.
and he had a different design on the comic than the one in Christian Bale's design on the movie. But yeah, other than that, I was pretty happy with the movie.
Oh, yeah, cool.
How's Natalie Portman in it?
She's the female Thor.
Yeah, because I like the idea of a female Thor, but I was thinking, God, anybody but Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman's
Well, that was the character, unfortunately.
Yeah,
She played.
Jane Foster becomes the Thor in the comic, so
That's not a spoiler. That's in a trailer.
That's how
Yeah.
Natalie Portman becomes the Thor character.
I've never heard any Natalie Portman shame before. I thought everyone loved Miss Portman.
Is it because of the prequel trilogy?
Yeah, is this
No,
right?
no. Although, nobody came out of the prequel trilogy unscathed. No one, no one was good in that. It was, because George Lucas he's a poor director. He doesn't know anything about actors and how they create characters. In my humble opinion, I don't want to start a flame war. And in that. And in those movies, I think it showed. But I thought she was amazing, nothing short of amazing in Leon the Professional.
Yeah.
But then she got acting training at some point, and now she's just kind of there.
Slam.
She's a very attractive young lady, but there's lots of very attractive young ladies who are not stunning actors in the world. Just somebody else, somebody with a little form. Who's that lady?
Like the show to fight back.
Ronda Rousey.
On ComX.
Ronda Rousey, please. Ronda Rousey would have been a good female Thor, surely.
She's a great actor.
But she'd probably kick Hemsworth's ass. So.
Yeah, no, she would destroy him.
Which I would like to see. That would be cool.
So anyway, a rebuttal. Is anybody here going to defend Ms. Portman?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually, the first Thor movie I saw, it was Thor 1. And I hated it. I hated it so much. And I was like, how can you do that to Natalie Portman? So it's like the opposite. Yeah. And then I loved Thor Ragnarok because Taika Waititi is amazing. But I love Natalie Portman. I think she's brilliant. Like, Black Swan, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I haven't seen Black Swan.
There we go.
So perhaps I should reserve full judgment until I've seen that. But yeah, I'm a big fan of lots of things that everybody thinks are crap. So,
I think it's it's just taste. Like it's just different.
That's precisely what it is. It's an entirely subjective thing.
Yeah. What do you think, Deshaun?
About Natalie Portman?
Yeah.
No, she was pretty good.
That's a good.
I liked her.
Yeah, I thought she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did a great job.
All right. Well, I can see I'm in the minority here.
Well, they can't cast anybody else because Jane Foster is supposed to be the character. So
it worked for the Hulk.
Yes, true. But
Has there been any other major?
How many Bruces? Sorry, was that Nick?
There's been a few. I think there was, but it was down to either scheduling or problematic behavior on the actor's part. I think who was the War Machine in Iron Man?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Terrence.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Phil
yeah.
Allen.
There was a couple of other
he
notable
wanted
ones.
more money for this Iron Man
I think
2.
so.
Was
And
that it?
then, yeah. He
Could have been
wanted
I
more
also heard
money.
he was dull. I heard someone say that the director said he was dull.
Terrence Howard.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is
Or could be any one of a number of things, scheduling conflicts, or
Yeah.
There we go. Natalie Portman's great in the role. We got Kerry coming.
Kerry's
That's it.
on the bat.
Discussion
Kerry's
over.
on bat.
Thank
in
you
the
for that,
X-Men,
Terry.
in the X-Men, there was a character called, is it Peter Trask, who was Bill Duke and then Peter Dinklage.
Oh.
That was a very weird one.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know.
that's not subtle.
No, no, that was a distinct change.
Yeah, when Mystique turns into Peter Dinklage, part of me always went, I don't know about that. That's I don't think
Mystique.
You've done something with your hair. Parted it different. I can't put my finger on it, trust. Yeah.
But they've recast all the X-Men a couple times, haven't they?
Yeah.
Oh, because they went
I
young.
think they just rebooted it, didn't they?
Reboot. No,
Yeah.
not reboot.
And I heard that Daniel Radcliffe wants to be Wolverine. I'm not seeing it, but okay.
Oh, I don't think so.
But put him back in the Harry Potter glasses.
Yes.
And then make him play Wolverine. That would be amazing.
I'm Wolverine, and I'm very angry. Grr. Snictiamus.
This writes itself.
It does, yeah.
That is a great Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, not bad.
That is a very good Daniel Radcliffe impression.
Thank you very much.
DK, your thoughts on Thor? You a fan?
Not really. I haven't actually seen any Thor movies. Is it bad?
It's cool just to be a fan of Hemsworth's arms. Would you
Yeah, I haven't seen the new one, so.
All good, all good. Cammy.
Thor arms. Yes, we need to all show off our guns.
We were looking at Thor's
Thor
arms.
use DP.
I was certainly looking at something beginning with A, but it wasn't his arms.
What about Natalie Portman's arms? She looks
Yeah,
massive.
she's done a bit of work for the movie.
More
Is this-
praise for Portman.
Alex, you got a comment here? I mean, Alistair, you got a comment here from Alex.
Oh yeah.
You could plot for 7 out of 10 Thor cosplay.
Oh well, an elderly Thor, perhaps.
We'll get a costume together and we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Let's get that on a Kickstarter.
Also, I don't know if I can really do. I don't know if I could really do the arms. I mean, come on. Hemsworth looks like a god.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's those scenes with those scenes with his shirt off, and I'm going like, yeah, I'd hit that. Sure.
A hug from him, you'd never go back, probably because you'd need a wheelchair.
I know. He's a very, very beautiful man.
Well, that's good. I'm glad we can establish that. I didn't want to be the first to say it, but I'm glad it's out there now.
Yeah,
Cammy,
it took this stream.
Cammy,
Camilla,
Oh, Thor fan? I don't read Marvel, so I've never read them. I just watched I watched the Taika Waititi movies because I love Taika, and I've seen some of the MCU movies where he's in.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I mean, I knew of the legends. Like, we had to be. I don't remember, like in school, we had to be Norsemen, like for Spirit
cool.
Week. We, like every class had to be like a different thing, and we put it like a sign on our door. We were little, and it said, "We're not the sheep of God. We're the wolves of Odin." And we got into massive trouble because all of our teachers were religious, even though the school wasn't. This was in South America, so they could do that. But yeah, so I mean, I think Chris Hemsworth. I think the funny Thor is so much better. It works so much better as a film than the series one. That's that first one like scarred me forever. Because it was just him. Like I remember, like at one point, Natalie Portman I think like collapses or dies, or I don't remember. But he literally like sinks to his knees and goes no without like a shred of irony. So I love this new take, this like humorous take, because there's no way to do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I think the moment the first one falls apart is when the other warriors from Asgard arrive in this little desert town.
Yeah.
It just looks like it looks like a cosplay club. Like, who are these clowns?
It really does.
It doesn't work at all. You know, and the director keeps on doing Dutch tilts for no reason because it's a comic. You know.
It looks like all the budget went on the costumes, and then they forgot to leave some for set and location.
Yeah. No, it's it's a lot like some of the Marvel origin stories. Well, a lot like a lot of superhero stories, and this point has been made by plenty of people before me. That the first two acts are always really great, and then the third act they go, now what do we do? I guess he fights a giant robot. So,
Chris Wood, you're on mute, by the way. There you go.
Yes, yeah. I saw the movie a couple of days ago. I thought it was really good. It's kind of, I mean, if you've seen Ragnarok, I feel like you sort of know what you're gonna get. But I quite like the comic. Yeah. I read Jason Aaron's Thor run, which is really good, with Olivier Coipel on the pencils. So that's one of my favorite runs. And that introduced Gore. And they do Gore a little bit differently in the movie, but I think it's fine. He's pretty bad in the comics. So I had high hope, but they did a good job. Yeah.
Excellent. OG Chris.
I haven't seen it yet, but I have seen clips of the flick scene, and that is all I needed to see. Like, I am good. I don't need to see the rest of it. Well, I mean, I would like to see it because, you know, again, as people have been saying, I do like Taika Waititi's work. Like, What We Do in Shadows was brilliant. And I think there's a bit of contention between me and my housemate because he doesn't like it, but I do quite like the sort of slapstick and more silly side of Thor. I really didn't like the first two Thor films. Like, I thought they were incredibly tedious, and the only reason I watched them was because I did a like proper Marvel marathon before WandaVision came out. But yeah, in general, not a Thor fan. Like, I started collecting the Avengers comics when I was little, and he popped up in them, but I was never really interested in the character. Yeah, just Chris Hemsworth. He's good.
Well, speaking of Thor's creation, I've got here Stan Lee created it because after creating the Hulk, he thought, what man could possibly be strong enough to fight alongside Hulk? He said, well, no man could, but a god could. And he made Kirby draw Thor. There you go. He said that in 2002.
Well, there you go.
At least he didn't say he invented Thor. That might have been a bit controversial.
Yeah, the Norse people stole it off me.
Yep.
How do the Norse people feel about the whole Marvel co-opting of their mythology?
Good question.
I'll ask
Does
them.
anybody know?
I've never read anything on it or heard anything about it, so that's interesting.
Hmm.
I had a mate from Iceland who, promotes himself as a Viking and stuff, and he loved them. He thought they were great. It's just kind of like, just good fun. So he was on board all the way.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a blogger and artist I follow who's Scandinavian, and the kind of opinion of the Marvel Thor is like, it's there. It's not necessarily related to anything religious. It's kind of in name only, so it's whatever. But I mean, I'm sure, as with everything else, different people have different opinions on the subject, and there are some people who will probably look at it and go, "How dare!" And there are, yeah.
It's kind of like how I feel about Braveheart.
Yeah.
It's bollocks. Who cares?
Progress shots. We do progress shot, Shane.
Sorry, what was that?
Do you want to do some progress shots? See everyone's doing.
I got a progress shot. What do you think, Chris Pecan?
Nice. Yep, accurate.
Let's get that shirt made.
I'm sorely tempted. The next time I appear on the screen, I'll just have Chris Hemsworth on my top.
And we've got a comment here where someone's disagreeing with a lot of us, trashing the original movies and loving the newer ones. But
yeah,
each to their own, I guess. Each to their own.
Oh, and he's saying the funny Thor sucks, so he's going.
Yeah,
this is the housemate.
That way, there's a lot of people who think.
No.
I like the original Thors. I don't have a problem with them.
Yeah, I like the originals. And
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, like knowing that Chris Hemsworth's so new to like cinema, and he's kind of like such a baby in it. I think it's really cool. And Hopkins doing his thing. It sets up Loki. Everyone loves Loki.
I'm pretty sure I've seen Thor: The Dark World. I can't remember anything about it.
That's fair.
That's the biggest problem. Like, I didn't dislike Dark World. I don't remember the Dark World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Very
Asgard
vague
being
as
just
well.
sort of empty. The city of the gods, Asgard, is just there's nobody there. It's weird.
Yeah, they had COVID.
So, yeah, but I remember.
Where it came from.
Yeah.
COVID.
They were in lockdown. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's indoors. Because obviously the government had failed to buy them appropriate PPE. That Odin sleep.
Yeah, damn Odin sleep.
Yeah.
We've
Nothing
got
gets
some
done.
pictures that have come in. Oh, sorry. With Peter Lawson, he commented on it when he threw it up, but I thought that was a bit early. But he's done. Oh, is it coming up? Can everyone see it?
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
That's cool.
Oh,
wow.
Nice one, Peter. Lawson, that is.
As always, man.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And Darren Huddy did one earlier as well.
Oh,
Hey.
that's great. It's like retro.
classic.
Yep, classic Thor with the new Stormbreaker. I always forget his name.
Oh, how funny.
Anyone else got some progress they want to show?
I can
yeah.
show mine.
You can share screen mine if you want.
Hang on, I'll bring up Alistair first.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Oh wow.
There you go.
Done well. And I'll bring you up, Dushan. I'll just find you. There you are.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
look awesome.
Nice.
Incredible.
Oh, very nice. Wow.
That's awesome, man.
Thanks.
Outstanding.
And we'll cheat. We've got Paul sharing screen. So you ready for me to whack yours up?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. It's still in pencils.
Yep.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I always love doing this.
That's got like a Justice League-y, what I'm thinking of, Batman animated series vibe to it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
these are just a pencil, so I've got to try to ink now.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, cool.
That curl in his hair.
Looking awesome. Oh, I forget that it does that.
All right, lots of promising stuff tonight. Excellent.
Well, I had a question that I was curious. Who thinks they would be worthy to lift the hammer? I personally don't think I would be. So I don't know what I would do if I tried to lift the hammer because I would fail.
I'll be fine.
Nope.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be an issue.
Wouldn't be an issue? Ah, no.
I get it.
It would be pretty annoying if you wanted it out of the way, if it was like in the middle of the road or something.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to get it out of the way, so I can't help you there.
No, it doesn't seem very likely.
No.
If Cap can, I can.
Nice.
I think that's a fair comparison.
Yep.
Very valid.
I lifted the one at EB Games.
Well, that's a good
That
sign.
counts.
Anyone else reckon they could lift it?
Nope.
No, I'm not even going to try. No.
Not very confident, are you? Come on.
What on the scale of lawful good to chaotic evil? I think you just got to be lawful good, and I'm not.
No, I'm just chaos. Just chaotic chaos.
I always want to do. I always want to do. You know, have you heard good cop, bad cop?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always wanted to do like 9 cops, and they range from like lawful good to chaotic evil, and they all have to question the suspect, and just it's really tedious. So
Oh, yeah,
maybe
maybe cop.
I'd watch that skit.
One cop, two cop, bad cop, blue cop.
Mid card.
Well, we got from our resident Kiwi, Mark Abnett. He's asked us how we thought there was more Kiwi than Aussie references in the movie. What do you think?
Oh, it's got a balance.
When New Zealanders become successful, they're Australians.
Except Taika Waititi, that's going to be a difficult person to co-opt.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
He's never going to be our Taika. It's just not going to work.
I'm game.
So, has anybody ever noticed? Somebody pointed this out to me the other day in Event Horizon. Sam Neill has a flag on his shoulder it's just like the Australian flag, except it's got the Aboriginal flag instead of the Union Jack.
I saw that post the other day.
That's cool. So it was a really nice touch.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's like somebody told me that yesterday, I think. Yeah. I wonder if he asked for that directly.
See, I had a similar experience with flags, patches on arms, but it's completely unrelated to Sam Neill's really awesome statement. This was that guy from the IT crowd. Who's the tall guy?
Do you mean Moss, Richard Iwadi, or Noel Fielding?
Him. Yeah, he was actually in Thor 1. He was the date that Natalie Portman let him. Yeah. So he was in a sequel to the Cloverfield thing, right?
Oh.
And because the lighting was really bad, his patch looked Italian, and I thought, oh, here we go. He's going to put on an Italian accent. He's like, "It's me, the spaceman," but instead he was Irish, and so he had the Irish flag. And so, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get back to drawing now.
That's a weird movie.
Yeah, that didn't work well.
The Cloverfield Paradox is a very strange movie. My arm is writing something. What?
Did he just like go, hello, arm? And I was like, oh, great, he's back in the Oh, jeez, dude.
It made no sense.
No.
I think it's
I
that
think it was-
time that we pick on Paul.
Oh,
Yes,
what?
please.
What? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now it's that part of the show where we shine a big shiny spotlight on one of our creator friends. This week, we welcome
Name
and talk about their creative journey. Please, everybody, make some noise for
Name.
Hi, I'm
Yay,
Name.
Paul! Woo!
Hey, name.
So, Paul,
Yeah.
we'll do the generalized questions to start with. What got you into comics?
I wanted to make an animation, and I thought it was going to be too hard, and I thought drawing still pictures would be easier.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't. Spoiler alert.
So, do you read comics to get into it?
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
read-
yeah.
What kind of things did you like?
Okay, so I sort of started off with the whole Marvel thing. I sort of picked up X-Men in the 90s. But then sort of, I did also collect stuff like heavy metal, and I really liked the underground stuff because, you could do stuff in those comics that it just seemed like the Wild West. Any story goes. It could be bad, it could be good, but they weren't bound by. They didn't seem that bound by too many restrictions, and I kind of liked that for a long time. And recently, I've been getting into. I think he's Stepyan Sejic. He does the.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, he does a series called Sunstone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, isn't for kids. But
yes.
I absolutely love his art, and his characters just they're really human. The hook is that he's just got these two girls who are into bondage and they fall in love. But it is a love story, and it's all about their emerging love for each other and all the characters that sort of. And I was so hooked on his work that I sort of started collecting all his other stuff, as well as his wife, Linda. She draws a lot of stuff. And then Matt Hawkins, who I think he was publishing their stuff for a while under Top Cow?
Top Cow.
Yeah, that's it. So, I got into his stuff as well. And so I like that side of comics more than the Marvel superhero stuff. That's sort of where I land, I guess.
Okay.
Nice. I didn't know his wife drew as well. That's cool. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, she does a book called Bloodstain, I think.
Okay.
And so they've got this little bit of a shared universe where all the characters from the different books actually play like a World of Warcraft game together.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of the touchstone. And it's really interesting where you sort of see these little crossovers in each other's books. But, they're perfectly self-contained stories. Like you could read Bloodstain and not know about Sunstone or vice versa. But yeah, and apparently this guy is a machine. He's currently drawing something with giant, battle robots and another thing that's like a horror fantasy. And yet I think he's just finishing on book 20 of Sunstone, but only 7 have come out. He's just insanely prolific and just one of those artists that just can pick up a pencil and draw human anatomy just really, really well. Even if he's phoning it in, I'm hooked.
Yeah, my exposure to him was DC fan art that he does a lot of, and it is incredible.
Yes.
So outside of comics, who are your influences? What kind of art do you look up to? What kind of...
The thing is that I think I'm influenced a lot by comic art. Outside of comics, probably just movies mainly. I'm sort of like, I who said that they really like bad movies?
Yeah, everyone.
the worst. If someone says this was really bad, I just see it as a personal challenge, and I have to see it just to sort of share in the pain. I don't know.
Whoa, what's going on?
Don't know.
Can't share tonight. Let me try again.
Oh,
there we go.
There you go.
Man.
Nice. So I've chosen to do Thor from the Ultimates. Not that I've ever actually read it, because Joe Madeira drew that, and I fell in love with his work when I saw it in X-Men, and everyone knows that the trope of Joe Madeira will do a cover. And you think, oh, wow, he's going to be illustrating this. I'm going to pick up this title. And inside is someone you've never heard of. And you're like, oh, I was in it for the cover. But all right, I'll stick around and see if this is good. So he's definitely influenced. Richard Corbin, who passed away a couple of years ago from heavy metal. Jean-Gerard Mobius. What other ones that I could sort of... Bernie Wrightson for a while. I was really digging his stuff. At the moment, anything that's sort of simpler to draw, because at the moment, current work is storyboarding and illustrating concepts and stuff. And so you only have so many hours in the day. You only have so much money at the client's disposal. And so you're not thinking of these really grandiose ideas. Just like, how can I make this as simple as possible? I know he's just going to have this one piece, one color suit. That's our character. Just for budget restrictions. And I'm sort of exaggerating there a little bit, but you really want to simplify things down. So Saturday morning breakfast cereal cartoons, Teen Titans, superhero girls, that sort of stuff has actually influenced what I do, just because I really like how economical they are with their style.
Sure.
Makes sense.
Liz, questions?
Me, well, I was going to bring up home-based, I think it is, if that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Where did I ask? Oh, wow, there you go. Wow, the website's up. Yeah, I have not touched it.
I found it this morning for my research. I was very excited.
Yeah, that was.
That's really cool.
Really cool, clean styles. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And it was a cool little story too. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a gag a day strip, where the gags are all sort of, well, they're home based. They're around the adventures of a stay-at-home dad, because I was one. When we started a family, my partner sort of went to work. Basically, for economic reasons, her industry just earned more. So we just thought, oh, look, you know what? I'll do the kid stuff, because I'm not going to be able to support us on my salary, but you can take care of a lot of stuff. And so, yeah, I did the drop-offs and the pickups and the babysitting and all that sort of stuff. And there were all these moments that sort of came up out of that. And I still wanted to draw comics, but I didn't want to do really big, spanning stuff. So I thought, if I can do little, finite, bite-sized chunks, let's get that out there, and people can just sort of enjoy it real quick, and they're not sort of waiting around for the next one or the whole thing to be finished. So, yeah. That was a really good example of a really simple style. I even chose it to do it in black and white, because I was like, again, screw color. I don't want to make color choices every time. I want to get these out as quickly as possible, but make them really look good. And I went above and beyond for some really bad jokes. And I think my absolute chronic problem is that the lamer the joke, the more of a setup I need for it. And so there's this one, I'm not sure if you can see it on the website. I think it's called Warhammered. I think you can just search that. And it's basically two space marines, and one's being kicked out of his girlfriend's house, and the other one's like, dude, you're a space marine. What the hell, you know? And it's just like having the usual blokey talk in a pub, and they're just getting drunk, and then they get kicked out. And it was this massive build-up for a really bad pun, and that is that you find out that the bar was inside the nostril of a giant mech head. And as they leave, they just go, "Come on, let's blow this nose." And and it was just so dumb, but I had to draw it the best way possible. And I had a friend of mine who was doing the editing, and we went for weeks backwards and forwards, scrutinizing every panel, just going, leave this gag in, this is going nowhere, what if he says this? And we just started throwing all this Warhammer stuff in, you know, sort of like he tries to say how good he is. He's like, you know, I wield the blade of the Primarch. And the bartender's like, bitch, please. You're the 10th wielder of our Primarch's blade I've had in here this week. It's like everyone gets the blade of the Primarch. And so little things like that, you know, and comebacks like, yeah, you just scroll by. I'd make you eat that blade, heathen, if I hadn't left it in my girlfriend's apartment. I really like that line. And because it had to come back to home base, it's the husband and wife, and they're getting absolutely rat-assed on red wine, and they're playing Warhammer. And the wife has come up with this story, and so she's done this whole role play on it, and all he wants to do is play bloody Warhammer 40,000.
That makes no sense, and I understand completely.
Then I even went further for a pee joke. So yeah.
Here's my joke. You mentioned characters being simplified, one color. Whoop, there it is again. Whoa, I can't do it tonight. I don't know what's going on.
Like this.
Let's try it again. No, I can't do it. No,
there he is.
There's my joke, and that's sizzle. There we go.
There you are.
Did you do that?
Press the other button.
Awesome.
So the Gag a Day stuff differs a lot from your other series, which is quite a long, sprawling epic. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, you mean Pandia?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was ages ago, and I look at it and I cringe now.
We hear that a lot.
Yeah, because, you know, I did the famous noob mistake. It's like, I want to draw a comic. What's simple? Oh, yeah, I'll just do this sprawling saga with like a bajillion characters, and there'll be like all this intrigue and suspense and blah, blah, blah. And of course, you've got to write all that. And so I think I got through 6 issues before we had our first kid, and then I was like, I can't put any more effort into this. And it was sort of my testing grounds to see what I could do, how I could do it. And I learned a lot on that project. I learned about self-publishing. I learned about print on demand. I actually made a lot of lifelong friends in the comics biz, I guess, all centered around that. But I look back at it and I just go, that's so my weakest stuff.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. So if you're going to start, if you're a beginner, start with a sprawling epic.
Any more art coming?
Yeah, we've had some more art come in from Nick May, actually.
Hey.
I like his trunks.
I love that.
The yellow sneakers.
That's
excellent.
You wouldn't have to say Nick Mays his name when you bring this up. People will know.
That's true.
I like the casual hammer over the shoulder there, going for a stroll.
That's all we've had coming so far.
I can show mine if you like.
Yeah. Okay, I'll have to bring it up. Hang on. Have you uploaded
Oh,
it?
you've got it, have you?
Yeah, I'm in the middle of renaming one. Sorry.
No, you're all right.
I've drawn your cringe face, Paul. I'm just thinking of a joke to go with it. I'm trying to think, can I sway the conversation back to cringe?
Absolutely.
Or I could just paint it red and that could just be my little joke. Regardless, let's see if this works. Nah, it's all sizzle again.
Hang on, I can change it over.
There you go. Cringe face.
I love it. Cringe face.
I can hear
Yeah.
it. Ugh.
Cool. So here's Peter's picture of Thor. Peter Wilson's, that is.
Oh,
Well, bring it up twice so you can see it.
There we go.
Love the tiny hammer.
That's great.
It's like a wooden mallet without color.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That's cool.
Yep, I can already see the jokes around that. Like, you know, he puts down this tiny little hammer and everyone tries to lift it, but they just can't. That's the kind of hammer that would be like, oh, you gotta be shitting me. I can't lift this. Yeah, that's
Like one of the doctor's like reflex hammers.
Maybe that's what Mjolnir turns into when he's the doctor. There you go, Marvel. Give me some money.
Yeah.
Maybe
No, that he turns into a walking stick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's
No,
right.
there's
I
a
remember,
walking
vaguely
stick.
remember that.
Because Donnie Blake's got a bum leg.
Yeah. And
Anyone finished? Anyone brave enough to show their stuff?
Not
I don't have pencils.
Because we're in the
Here we
end
go.
zone.
I was waiting for Chris Wood to make a joke because I'd drawn his head. So here we go.
The proportions are all wrong. My head is a lot bigger than that. Thank you. That's great.
It's a little hammer.
Marvel will do that. Yeah, they will.
You will. You're in trouble. All right, I'm going to draw the girls. Haven't drawn the girls tonight.
Yep. And
Paul,
I haven't got any messages. Sorry, this is the part of the night when I start getting lots of pictures flowing in, so I get a bit distracted.
All good.
What program are you using, Paul?
I'm drawing in Blender.
Oh, really?
Blender.
Yes.
That's good.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is a 3D program, but it's got this tool called Grease Pencil.
Yep.
And I've been using it for quite a while. It sort of became its own sophisticated tool, and it's brilliant for storyboarding, animation, that sort of stuff. It's kind of like drawing in Illustrator, you know, because you got like vector.
Isn't
Right.
Blender free as well?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I use.
It's
Illustrator.
free. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's free and open source software, and currently my job is I'm an instructor for an online group called CG Cookie, and they specialize in Blender courses. So, yeah, I have to basically work in Blender every day, and I've been using the Grease Pencil for every day over a year to create some storyboards for a project. And yeah, I really like working in it. It's a different mode of working because, you know, the Photoshop style or the bitmap, what do you call it? The raster programs, the paint programs. That's one way of working where you sort of like add paint strokes all the time. But things like Illustrator or vector tools, you're drawing strokes that can then go into edit mode and you can manipulate the vertices. And so if you do a lot of painting, you're going to make a big mess. And so you have to be very economical with how you draw. So yeah, it's a bit of a different feel.
That's
I think
cool.
Blender might be first for Australia. I don't think anyone else draws in it.
Yeah, and like I like adding some really cool effects, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get around to it tonight because of time restrictions. But one thing I really want to do is like have lightning bolts come out of Thor's eyes and the hammer and all that. And I can actually manipulate those in 3D space, so I can get a nice bit of a depth of field on there and stuff. It's really simple to do. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Cool. Well, we've got another piece of art's come through from Chris Pitkin or Crispy.
Crispy.
So, it's Thor.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
Wow.
Oh, but it gets better. It
Giddy
gets
up.
better. We are allowed to show this one.
Oh no.
The only
Better
Ken
put a
version.
watermark on that one.
That's cool.
Got a
Storytelling.
bit of a back there. Well, I was just gonna do the the flick scene, and then I thought, oh, it suddenly just made me think of the old Frank Frazetta drawings.
Yep.
Of the sexy girl holding Conan's legs, and I just thought, let's do that, but flip it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Chris Hemsworth, I reckon he would totally do that.
Oh yeah.
Well done. All right, I've drawn the girls. Eyes up. And for reference.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm almost done.
I'm nowhere near done. I think I'm going to have to send you stuff tomorrow, Shane.
Yeah, same.
God.
You can send
I decided
updates.
Been an hour
You can
already.
send
That's
updates
ridiculous.
tomorrow, but I still need what you're up to now.
Oh, yeah, sure. Then I'll
Oh,
give you
yeah,
the
yeah,
pension.
Give me 2 seconds.
Got a fan there, Crispy.
Thank you.
So who's doing traditional?
I am.
Are
Nobody.
you ready to show more?
I'm
of
doing.
There's one.
Dushan, you ready to show more of yours, or
Yeah, I can show it. Haven't finished yet, but
Oh, that's badass.
That's
Oh,
cool.
wow.
Yeah.
Finished? Wow.
Amazing.
Wonderful.
Jeez, man.
What software is that?
Yeah, what brush is these?
Indian ink.
Hey.
Nice.
Well done, dude.
That's
That's
very
awesome,
cool.
man.
Base and helmets.
How do you undo?
White out.
White out. Yeah.
Cry.
Cry.
You joke, but every time I go traditional, I always
That's
have
awesome,
to pay.
man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Nick May was saying that now when he tries to draw on paper, he keeps doing this thing where he tries to zoom in with his fingers.
yeah.
Control is it? Because I
Yeah,
draw
yeah.
on tablet as well, and when I start drawing, this happens to me. I also do Control is it to undo when
Yeah,
I'm drawing by
I
hand.
do that all
Pencil.
the time. I do that all the time.
Comment for you, Duchesne.
What's that line? Do you guys have you ever seen Red Dwarf?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, when Crichton becomes human, and he's like, "So how do you zoom?" And and Lister just goes, "Well, you just bring it closer." And so he's like, "Okay." He's a robot. That's the joke for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Dear.
1 minute till 9.
1 minute.
Oh,
Is it a 9?
All right.
I thought it was a 10.
Oh my
God, this is like MasterChef. We're gonna have to get Matt Preston to eat our drawings, and he's not gonna like. I'll be like, just gave up, mate. Bon appetit.
Eat that, you fucker.
Yeah.
Where do I send? Who do I send? What do I do?
I sent to art@ComX, COMX.studio. Just along the little bottom there. It's running along the bottom there.
No entiendo. Oh, right. Okay. Yes.
All right. That's fine. So
Oh,
far.
hang on. I'll bring you up. Wow.
Nice.
Oh, that looks great.
Oh.
Oh,
Whoa.
that's awesome, man.
Badass.
Thank you.
No play. Good trick.
Oh, should have gone with the rest.
Could I show mine just like that?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay. I thought this went on until 10, so I just took my sweet time. But it's Fat Thor. Hope you can see it.
Still.
Oh, a lot of glare.
That bought Thor.
Oh.
No. Okay, I'll send it to you. Sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. Worth a try.
Yeah.
I just sent mine through, Shane.
Yep. I just saw it arrive.
Are we posting them on Discord?
If you want to, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Discord. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just uploading Chris Woods. And here we go.
Whoa.
Oh, it's amazing.
That's cool.
Oh, wow.
Is twirl on?
Got
That's
the
so cool.
You fucking show off.
Cool minds.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Thanks. Yeah, right.
Oh.
Who's
Right.
left?
I think I'm just going to have to do a screen grab here.
Sorry, mine's kind of. So we have.
Hey, Chris, McCann, what you doing? What you doing? Finished drawing? What are you doing now?
Someone's got to.
I'm having dinner.
Oh!
At long last. What have I got? Nah, where's a good one? I've eaten all the good ones. Yeah. Got puff pastry pizza wheels.
Puff pizza pastry wheels.
The first I mentioned.
So I have to do the, what is it, the influencer thing? Hold my hand up behind it.
Yeah? Do you have to do that?
Well, otherwise you just get like glare. That's how it works. That's how it works. You hold up the thing and put your hand up behind it.
It looked like you were wearing a big ring backwards. Like what kind of influence is this?
Got yours, Camilla. Thanks.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Pastry.
Not finished.
How are you going, DK? Have we seen yours?
Just sending it through now.
Oh, it's...
What's that address again?
Oh, I got it from Discord. It's all good.
All right.
And we got an amazing from the last drawing. We got a hello all from SK. We got us.
I finished my one.
Oh, you finished now? Okay, we'll show again.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wow.
That looks great.
Show it.
Hey, I love it.
That is something else.
Man.
It's awesome, man.
Badass.
That's amazing work.
That's so cool.
Oh, wow. God, I love the hatching on that.
Yeah.
Jeez. So, and that's just this last hour.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yep.
Bloody
Thank you
hell.
very
That
much,
is
sir.
outstanding.
Very sweet.
So what do we hope to see in the next Thor? How do we up the?
Yeah, that's.
Don't know. I haven't
I
seen it
don't
yet.
know where they take it from here. Do they do more silliness or do they go serious? Are we stuck in silliness now? We've had 2 movies of it.
I'm interested to see where they take Captain America. Sorry to pivot, but
yeah, sure.
because that one's also got a style that sort of became almost, espionage, James Bond. Everything was around
spy thriller,
political disputes and all that sort of. But it was really, really good. And so where they take that next, it will be interesting if they continue that. And so maybe Thor's like the avenue for some Marvel silliness. I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
I think I'd love more like cosmic weirdness because like the comics are pretty weird. They kind of go into that in the recent movie, but I love just more cosmic spectacle. I think would be great for me. Yeah, I'd be happy. More Jack Kirby stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, here's Camilla's work in progress.
Fat Thor.
I love that scene.
Relatable.
And it captures so much about that scene. Actually, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
That
awesome.
Nice.
Captures the hammer again. Yep.
Slippers.
Love that movement in the robe. That's great.
Thank you.
The expression in the eyes, like I could just sort of see the I am worthy. That's cute.
Excellent. Excellent.
We got Paul's as well, screenshot. So we've got a few extra bits.
Yeah.
Gee.
Thor.
And that's in Blender.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And progress
And
these
that's
awesome, man.
That's cool.
Very nice.
Has anyone read the Jane Foster Thor comics?
No.
Can't say I have.
I'm curious whether, without spoilers, whether it was all faithful with what they did with
What
characters.
little I know of it, I guess it was, but I only know very little, so I can't really say for sure.
But you think yes?
I
They seem to have covered the main
I've heard someone
points.
say it is who's read them, so I don't know.
I'd heard that the way she became Thor in the comics was that Donald Blake was no
Careful.
longer worthy.
Careful.
Oh yeah, I think that
I
was
haven't
different.
seen the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Donald Blake. Okay.
Good question.
Yeah.
Where's 2Ks?
I don't know who Donald Blank is. Who's that?
That's Thor.
Thor's alter ego.
That's his human alter ego, Dr.
In the
Donald
comic.
Blake.
Oh, Chris Hemsworth doesn't do that.
Not in the movie.
He said the first one, I think.
They
In the first
they
movie,
mentioned it very briefly in the first one
Yeah.
Right. Isn't that
when they're trying to explain who he
I
is
thought it
to
was a nice
Agent. What's his name? When Stellan Skarsgård's character is trying to explain who he is to Coulson, he's saying, "Hi, this is my friend Donnie. Had a little bit too much to drink there, Donnie." So, and they give him a false. They give him some dead doctor's ID, and go like, so there's an idea from a guy who died. Don't think about it too much.
I think it's supposed to be
Wasn't it Jane Foster's ex-boyfriend in the movie?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
I can't remember for sure.
The movie, the recent one, merges like two stories together. So like the first story is like with the bad guy, the Christian Bale Gore character, and throughout the story, Thor becomes unworthy because Thor tells him something specific, and then that's how Mjolnir becomes sort of single and finds Jane, I think. So Thor's running around with an axe, essentially, being a hobo. So they kind of merge those together.
Yeah, right.
Cool.
Thank you, Chris. Very kind words.
Hey, without spoiling again, Stormbreaker got the biggest laughs in my cinema when I was.
Really?
Yeah, like that character was. People went crazy.
I have to go see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think my cinema, I noticed it was the goats.
How the goats for you?
I don't know what these goats are you keep referring to, but they sound amazing.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Yes.
What's going on with the goats?
I know.
They just.
I tell you, mate.
Yeah,
I hope their bodily autonomy is being respected.
And DK's pictures come in, so let's check this out. I can only see a tiny version, so here we go.
With some ranking nipples.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be Thor, not me.
Who are your
Those
influences?
nipples are like.
I remember when I was teaching when Endgame first came out, and there was a girl in my class who was a big Thor / Chris Hemsworth fan, and she was not happy about Fat Thor. She was pissed off. It was insulting, and yeah, I can see the point of view. You know, it's really played up for laughs. I thought it was fine, but then yeah. Anybody else had any kind of a problem with that, or?
I prefer Chris when he's all thin and muscular myself.
Yes.
God bod. I'm more of a God bod fan. Well, I
don't
guess
know, I
I'm
kind
the
of-
last picture.
Yeah, that's great.
Last one.
Yeah, mine's only penciled. I didn't get a chance to ink tonight like I usually do. But this is the best I could do.
Hey!
Hey, that's cool.
Nice.
Like old school Thor.
Old
Classic
school.
Thor, classic Kirby.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
I was going to draw that pose before.
Oh, no way. That would be embarrassing.
That's awesome, man.
My piece of art compared to your actual art would have been.
Actual art, that's not a thing.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
I know that.
Oh, look.
What's her name?
Oh, no.
All right,
Thanks,
she
Dave.
wins.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave.
Well, I guess we're at that time of the night where everyone has a little bit of talk about themselves. So let's hit the right button and start that segment.
This poor person is looking through the newspaper for info on what projects our artists have been working on. And this lost individual is using a map to find where she can follow our artists on social media and buy their books. How about we save them the trouble and just tell them? We call this next segment Shameless Self-Promotion.
Woo, okay, I'll go first.
Hang on, what's going on? This is you.
Oh, okay, you don't remember this bit. This is the self-promotion bit. We go around the room and you just talk about
yes,
where you
right.
can get your work and so forth. So I'll start.
Oh, yes, okay, sorry.
ComX.shop is where you can get all the books that ComX sells from different artists and creators and so forth. ComX has just done a proof for Bin Kitty, so that will be out very soon. The proof has come back absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Jeffries. And I just want to share this little bit of progress by Dave Dye. He sent this in for his new Beowulf comic.
Oh, great.
Cool.
Nice.
Bad.
Nice. Thanks, Dave.
I didn't see it. Gotcha.
Over to you, Peter.
Yo, I've just been writing. I haven't got anything coming out in the near future. Some stuff for ComX and here and there. Mostly been writing. You can see my stuff on by Peter Wilson on Instagram or at the ComX store. Yeah, check it out. Nick.
I'm going to keep mine short again. You can find my stuff at ComX.shop or DetectiveBudgie.com. That's where you find me. All right, who's next? Tell us more, Paul C.
Well, you can find my stuff at cgcookie.com. I've got a course coming out which is comics related. I'll be actually producing a short comic for print on demand in Blender. That was the brief. So I have to create it from start to finish. So that's what I'm working on at the moment.
Cool.
I have a comic called Laser Ray. It's available on Comic Shop.
Yep,
it's like the first issue.
I'll bring it up so people can see. Yep.
Yeah. So that's all mine.
Wow.
You write it as well?
Yeah, story and
That's
awesome.
coloring. And
beautiful.
And it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good work.
everything.
Nice. That's pretty, man.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm on Facebook. I have a Facebook page called Art of Dushan Silva, and another page for Lisa Ray comic, and plus I'm on Instagram at Silva Dushan. You can find my artwork there as well.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Thank you, man. Chris.
All right. You can find me on Instagram at crispy.inks, or I'm on Twitter at crispydraws. And I'm currently working with Ez of Signet Studio doing the next Wolf Cubs comic. So that will be in the pipeline. And also working a lot with NSK Comics. So go check out both of them as well if you want to see my stuff.
Cool.
Nice.
Chris Wood.
Hi, Chris. Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Chris Wood Inc. I had to think about that one for a moment. I do the Bad Hobby stuff. In fact, I just finished a deadline today, which is why I was a little bit zoned out when we started. And I'm working on a indie comic with Kieran Alexander called Coffee Table, and you can find information on that ongoing project on my Instagram.
Cool. Over to you, Camilla.
I'm working as the artist of a webcomic called Heart of Miyera. That's written by Just Kate. And you can find it at heartofmiyera.com. And yeah, most of my stuff I post on Instagram, and it's cami.duran.art. I have my links there.
Cool. Thanks. DK.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Decada Studios, and all my other stuff's on decadastudios.com. And I create the Apocalypse comics. Got 1, 2, and 3 out. Boom.
Oh, cool.
Oh, there. Oh. So you can check all them out at decadastudios.com.
Sweet. Alistair is still drawing away.
I am still doing game art for Gems of War from Infinite Plus 2 in Melbourne. Gems of War, check it out. It's got the best artwork ever. And I'm also on Instagram. That's alistairlockhart.art, and I've got a website, alistairlockhart.net. Log on to alistairlockhart.net, and I'll update it soon, I promise.
Awesome.
All right, cool.
Well, what do you reckon, Peter? You reckon that's the show?
I think so, man.
Excellent. Well, thank you everyone for joining us tonight, especially some new faces there. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolute pleasures to have you. Red hot. So, yep. Thanks everyone for watching. And watching the oh, hang on, I've just forgot the other thing that we have to do that I normally get someone else to do. If you're watching this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. So yeah,
Yes,
thank you
do
very
that.
much. And I'll get rid of that. And then we shall go. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great night, and see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.
The show has died. It is dead. But in 1 week, like a phoenix, it will rise again. So stop the crying at once. Instead, head to ComX.shop and dry your tears on a copy of Amazing Tales by Dave Dye. The Devil's Toilet by Spedsy. ComX Presents featuring Ed Kearsley, Tony Menzie, Duncan Pranavicius, Peter Wilson, Lee Chalker, Zach George, and so much more. The list is longer than this outro. See you next Friday for more drinking and drawing. Alright Sizzle, press the button. Sizzle. Don't make me come over there and butter your crumpet. Sizzle, doink the thing. I shouldn't have to scold you like this in front of your friends. Slap your honk on the thing. Sizzle, I can see your cupcakes. I mean